I was unable to think of an opening for this week. I was unable to think of an opening for this week.
Kill me now, please.
So gender is just a social construct, and believing in God is a crutch. When you mix them together and give them a whirl, what do you got? Atheist T-Girl!
Hello everyone, it's Atheist T-Girl, also known as Alanis. Today we're going to be talking about protests and boycotts and petitions. But first, it's time for... Today's Fundy of the Week is Reverend Eric Damon, a pastor at the Bible Baptist Church in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. He has an unusual way of converting children to Christianity. Shall we watch it?
He's a real smart aleck. Was a bright kid, which didn't help things, right? Made him more dangerous. And we were outside one day at youth group, and he was just trying to push my buttons, and he was just, kind of not taking the Lord serious. And I walked over to him, and I went, bam! I punched him in the chest as hard as I crumpled the kid. I just crumpled him. And I leaned over and I said, Ben, when are you going to stop playing games with God? I led that man to the Lord right there. There's times that might be needed.
Wonderful, isn't it? Now, if I were to give you a multiple choice test on what you think happened to this guy, would you say 1, he was imprisoned for child abuse? 2, he lost his job? Or 3, he is still working at that same church? Time's up! Yes, he's still working at the same church 5 years later. And that's our Fundy of the Week. Growing up in a Christian household, it wasn't uncommon to one day wake up and find that something I used or liked was now considered verboten because its maker had done some unforgivable sin. The newspaper was discontinued because Doonesbury had a gay character. The cable was canceled because of some kind of gay kiss. I don't remember which one. I was taken out of public school to protect me from the heathens. Disney World supported the gay agenda with their unofficial gay weeks. Each of these things were boycotts where we as Christians would use our vast economic power to get organizations to change their minds. But looking back at them, they don't seem to have been so successful. Heck, Disney World even made Gay Week canon. Before going on, I should make something clear. Just because I am pointing out the silliness of some of the upcoming boycotts and petitions, please don't take it to mean that I endorse the companies being boycotted. I think most of the action that companies do that could be considered woke are done only because they realize that they can make more money with their woke advertisement than they will lose from boycotts or protesting. If the company had lawyers who told them they could cut people's throats, collect the blood, and sell it without getting in trouble, and the accountant said that they could make a profit off of it, they would do it. And of course, the same company would probably be selling wraps to make their throat uncuttable. But capitalism isn't the subject, so let me get back to my memories. One boycott from my childhood in the late 80s seems so outlandish that I recently looked it up to make sure I wasn't imagining the whole thing. I wasn't! As a kid, I was told that the company Procter & Gamble was evil. They gave their money to the Satanic Church, and you could tell this because they had put clues on their very own trademark symbol. I mean, look at this logo. There are 13 stars, the horns, a 666 hidden in the hair. How could this not be a hidden message that this company is Satan-worshiping entity? Speaking of which, why do conspiracy theories always point out to hidden images in other pictures to prove their point? Did you hear the US government put billions of dollars into hiding a secret control center beneath the Denver airport? But also, they spent a couple $1,000s to have a secret message put in the murals of that said airport. Even James Bond villains aren't that dumb. Of course, the idea that there was a cult symbology proclaiming that Satan is God was proven to be false. But P&G couldn't rest after cleaning up this one, as in the 90s, rumors were spread that the leader of the company had been on Phil Donahue, claiming he was an avid Satanist. The rumor was later alleged to have been spread by a couple of Amway distributors in order to hurt the competition, but the Christians still lapped it up and believed it. In the 2000s, conservatives and Christians joined up together to boycott Procter & Gamble. This one was led by the AFA and Focus on the Family because they backed gay rights and extended marriage rights to the gay employees at a time when gay marriage wasn't recognized by most. In 2017, they ran an ad about black parents giving their kids the talk. No, not the talk about sex. If you're black, you know what kind of talk I'm talking about. And in 2018, they ran an ad about boys being boys needing to be more than what it was at this moment. These two are not directly related to Christianity, but because of the large overlap between fundamentalist Christianity and right-wing politics, the Venn diagram of protesters would have covered a lot of the Christian circle. The reason this subject is on my mind is an article I saw a couple of weeks ago about a website named Return to Order, who had a petition of 20,000 plus signatures to get Netflix to stop making episodes of Good Omens, a show that Netflix does not make. That is instead on Amazon Prime. But they did get a response from Netflix, who promised in a tweet to never make another episode of Good Omens. And in support of Netflix, Amazon Prime promised to never make another episode of Stranger Things. Reviewing their site, I have found quite a few petitions. Like this one regarding the snaketivity in Michigan State Capitol. It has over 4,000 signatures collected since 2015. That's about 1,000 a year. Not all of them can be winners. In 2015, Michigan State Senator Rick Jones put out a nativity scene on the Capitol grounds. In response, the Satanic Temple of Detroit chapter created this nativity. Ain't he pretty? As you can tell by this picture, the Satanic Temple, despite this petition, was able to erect one. In addition, a menorah was put up. Checking in on the story, I found that it was up again in 2016, but not in 2017. Its presence was missed by the West Michigan Friends of the Satanic Temple. They checked into it and found that, much to their horror, somewhere after 2016 this nativity disappeared. They quickly got together a fundraiser. The news articles I found did not state if they made their goal or if it was displayed in 2018, so I contacted them myself. And yes, they did. Beaut, isn't she? They plan on doing the same at the end of this year. So lighthearted stories about sending petitions to the wrong location and snakes and nativities. Why do Christians fight these battles? According to the statistics from the Hollywood Reporter in 2019, they had 139 million subscribers to Netflix. 20,000 signatures is less than 1.5% of their membership. 4,000 signatures on online petition is small. Did they really expect to change minds with these actions? Did my parents really think that their cancellation of the newspaper would cause Doonesbury to be withdrawn? Who am I, ContraPoints or H-Bomber guy with all this smart info? I guess if I was as good as them, I could give you studies and reasons behind it all. Categorized and with a good joke. But I'm not, so I can only give you my experience. Maybe they hoped their signature, their individual action would make a difference, but I don't think this was the main reason that they protested and boycotted. I know growing up, it felt like a badge of honor to give up something enjoyable or needed in the fight against Satan. Not having cable Friday night was a sacrifice, and that sacrifice reminded us of how bad the world was getting and how everything was against us. In a way, boycotting was a way to point out that we were special, a grade higher than the non-saved. and ultimately, it was a safe, easy way to further divide us from them. However, not all boycotts or protests have no results or as hilarious. This is a protest that Return to Order did against the Drag Queen Story Hour. This was a project that had been going on for a year at the library. And if I understand the news article about it right, the last planned session was supposed to be this June 29th. It was already about to stop for this season. For backup of their position against drag queens and kids, the Return to Order page used acpeds.org as a source. While the American College of Pediatricians might sound like a reliable place to learn how children and trans gay culture affect each other, it isn't. Instead, it's a vile homophobic group of doctors. I'll have to do a deeper dive into them someday. The last show was supposed to be on June 29th, but it didn't happen. Why? Well, not long after putting up this petition, other events in the area with the same theme got threatened calls and death threats. I won't go as far to say that putting this petition up was a reason, because there are so many other articles about this event at the same time. I will say that putting up a document with unsupported data stating that this is akin to child abuse was a motivation. Actions taken against people thought to be doing child abuse tend to head towards the extreme really fast. For example, just look at the Pizzagate. Protests, petitions, boycotts, they might be a simple tool to change a company's mind, but they're also used to make those who are in Christianity feel separated from the world. And sometimes they can have some very disastrous results. But if you don't agree with me, you could always unlike me and protest my channel. Thank you all for watching. If you like my video, please be sure to hit like and subscribe and ring ding 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 that bell so that maybe YouTube will still tell you when I have a new video up. Maybe. If you have any questions or comments, please be sure to put them into my notes. But my standard policy is if you write anything transphobic or homophobic, I will delete it. I get enough of that stuff in real life, I don't have to put up with it here. You can also find me on Twitter pretty much all the time at atheist_T_girl. And during the rest of the week, I am playing through Borderlands 2, usually every night, so if you see me online, be sure to check me out, send me a message. I hope y'all all have a very great day.
I was unable to think of an opening for this week. I was unable to think of an opening for this week.